Hello, my friend. Welcome to MBA Monday. I'm Angela Guido, the founder of MBA Protocol, and I am your career guardian angel. I am here to help you answer the question of whether an MBA is right for you, and if it is, how to get into the best school you can possibly get into. Today's topic is about the hidden benefits of an MBA that no one talks about. If you've been here for a while, welcome back to MBA Monday. If you're just tiptoeing into the world of potential MBA applications, welcome, welcome, welcome. You have come to the right place. Today, I'm going to be helping demystify some of the features of the MBA that alumni deem to be the very most valuable, but that people don't necessarily talk about or understand before they apply, before they get in, or even when they're starting their own MBA themselves. I'm going to help you decide if an MBA is really right for you based on some of these benefits, as well as I'm going to direct you to some other resources that are going to help you really answer that question for you personally. And my hope is that not only will you find this information helpful, but it's going to inspire you just a little bit. So wherever you are on your MBA journey, if you're just still deciding if maybe it's for you, or if you're in the middle of applications and you need a reason to keep going through all the rough stuff, this video is going to help you connect with the value of an MBA to you personally in some of the subtler ways that are really what make the MBA experience worth pursuing year after year, despite the fact that it's become really very expensive, if I'm honest. But let's start with the first sort of most fundamental hidden benefit of an MBA program, and that is that in the 2 years you're studying, or year, if it's a year-long program, year and a half, if it's a shorter program, or 2.5 years if it's a part-time program or executive program, the most foundational benefit that alumni receive from the program is that they become adept at what I'm going to call the language of business. May sound strange to think about business as a language, but when you think about how the world works today, most things are getting done within a context of value. Business is just how value is organized and distributed in the world. So learning how the value chain works is fundamental to getting things done in any space, whether it's the nonprofit sector, the government, public sector, or the private sector of business. Understanding how value moves throughout an organization, inside and then outside to its constituents, to its shareholders, and most importantly, to its customers and the people it's designed to serve, is going to make you more effective at absolutely anything you want to do in your career. If you're considering applying to business school, you probably have somewhere in the back of your mind the idea that you want to be a change maker, whether you have a big ambition that's clearly defined, or even just a vague feeling like, I'm meant for something more. I'm here to do something. I may not even know what it is, but I want my life to matter in some way. That means you have a desire to make positive change happen. So starting with the language of business is going to help you understand how you can add value all throughout your career in any organization. So what is the value chain and how does the value chain work? Well, if we were going to use a simple definition of the value chain, splashed right here on your screen, it's just the series of steps that take something from conception, from an idea, to a finished product. And at every stage of that process, value is either being created or destroyed. It's being added or it's being taken away. And the value chain touches absolutely every function of business. We go from innovation to design to product management to product development to marketing to supply chain to finance to operations to human resources and more. It describes the process by which every little ounce of human or machine or earthly effort is contributed to get something done. And the MBA is going to teach you a little bit about all of those functions, about the entire value chain of any theoretical conceptual organization, and in some cases of very specific companies, specific products, and specific organizations. You're going to begin to learn how to think from the perspective of where is the value, how can we amplify it, and how can we deliver more value in the world. I almost can't even overstate the transformative power of this immersion in the language of business, because regardless of what space you want to enter post MBA, you will come out with a much clearer understanding of how the world actually works, of how things fit together, of how to make an influence in your space, and how to use data, decision making, and the power of economics, marketing, operations, all of these various disciplines within business to make things better and to deliver more value. During your MBA, you're going to explore all of these questions, and you may not emerge with answers, but you will emerge with the right questions and knowing how to ask the right questions as you go forward. So that benefit connects very deeply with the second hidden benefit of the MBA program, and I'm going to call this one swagger. Yeah, it's confidence. And there's a version of this that could go a little bit too far. Swagger is sort of like one of those words that's on the verge. And there's a downside to this, which is MBAs kind of have a reputation for getting a swole head. You know what I'm saying? This is where we get these famous quotes from people like Elon Musk, who says MBAs aren't qualified to do anything. And we got Richard Branson saying, yeah, MBA is not so hot. A lot of famous entrepreneurs, a lot of people without MBAs, like, their version of swagger is to trash talk MBAs. But the truth is, you may have met a person or two in your career that has an MBA and thinks that that confers some extraordinary power of business. And that really isn't the truth. So you don't want to let the MBA degree go to your head. You're not super qualified to do anything, as I talk about in this video right here. The MBA just opens doors, opens your mind, and gives you tools to ask the right questions and think in a way that can drive greater value in business. And the plus side of swagger is that it's really going to increase your confidence in yourself. If you are out to make change happen, which is the premise underlying this entire channel, is that you're pursuing an MBA because you have something you want to contribute, some way that you want to make your mark, then having the language of business under your belt, going through those 2 years of intensive learning is really going to increase your confidence in your own ability to stand up in any room where business decisions are being made and contribute value. So related to both of these two hidden benefits, but also its own benefit in itself, is the fact that the MBA is a little bit of a magical time in a person's life. You get to spend 2 years, if you're in a full-time MBA program, doing what I'm going to call thinking big. You're going to be challenged by your coursework to think in ways that you've never thought before. You're going to be challenged to confront some of the biggest business problems that have ever been solved in the history of ever. And you're going to have a seat at that fictitious, fantastical table thinking through these big world-altering decisions. It's also the case that depending on which MBA program you go to, and depending on which electives you choose, which classes you take, you might get the chance to scheme up and dream up new businesses. So at Booth, you've got the New Venture Challenge. At Stanford, you've got Startup Garage. At Harvard, you've got Startup Boot Camp. There are innovation challenges, there are product challenges, there are hackathons, there are chances to do consulting projects for actual companies through coursework or through clubs. You're going to be playing big in the world of ideas, in the world of new business, in the world of entrepreneurship. If you choose that track or those types of programs or those types of courses, you really are going to have the chance to expand the way you think and the way you understand what's possible in the world of business. It's related to swagger because you're going to see that there will be a handful of people who, again, their head's going to get swole. They're going to think they can do more than they can actually do. But as long as you keep your ego in check, this is a really incredibly transformative aspect of the MBA, because you can never go back to thinking small the way you did before. When you come out of business school, you will have permanently shifted your ability to think at scale, to think in terms of big ideas, big products, big launches, big markets, things that before might have seemed totally out of reach or totally impossible to you will now actually seem within the realm of possibility. This is the most vitalizing. I'm even kind of getting like goosebumps as I'm talking about this. This is the most revitalizing and energizing aspect of the MBA program. And even though once you leave business school and you get into your first job and you get smacked down a few times because you realize your own absolute incompetence to reach some of these goals right away, you'll get there eventually. It's a process, it's a journey. You're not going to get there right out of MBA programs. You're going to have to build your tools, build your skill sets, and slowly work towards becoming the person who can actually hold these big dreams and make them happen. But once that door is opened, it's never closed again. So that's the third hidden benefit of the MBA program, possibly my favorite. Now I'm going to talk about the fourth. The fourth hidden benefit, and this is actually one that people talk about in the context of your network. So you're going to hear that one of the biggest out front benefits of the MBA is your network. And the fact that you're going to have new connections, you're going to be a member of this alumni community, you can join the Wharton alumni, Harvard alumni, University of Texas MBA alumni network on LinkedIn. You're going to have all these new contacts and access to people that you wouldn't have had before you started your MBA. But I'd like to think of this in a different way, again, a hidden way that people don't really talk about, which is not the number of people in your network and the clout of those people in your network and the importance of the people that you're now connected to. Sure, that's fine. But the more interesting and frankly, probably more meaningful aspect of the people side of the MBA, again, a hidden benefit, is that you're making inspiring friends. If you think about how college was, you remember how you were surrounded by people that were fun to talk to and that were curious about the world and were interested in big things. And maybe if you lived on campus and you lived in a dorm, you'd hang out with them on a Tuesday night until 2 a.m, talking about big ideas, talking about the world. And then when you left university or college or school, you found that those friendships were harder to find, and that people that really shared your level of curiosity and ambition for the world weren't everywhere. They weren't sitting next to you at work. They weren't next to you on the train. It's where are the people that are my people? That feeling that you have confronting the difference between a rarefied education environment versus the rest of the real world, it can be a big letdown. I know it was for me. I don't know how it was for you. But the MBA is your chance to go back into that amazing world of education where everyone is there to learn, to increase their capacity, to make a difference, to solve problems, to figure things out. And so you're going to have those late night conversations about how to launch a more ethical business, or how to solve the problems of climate change through ethical business operations. And you're going to be brainstorming. What are businesses you could start? What are paths you could pursue? And you're going to be surrounded by other people asking themselves those same questions. So you're going to form truly inspiring friendships. And you're going to have 2 years to be in this environment where everyone is doing the same thing. It's really, for most people, it's the last time that you are going to get to do that, because once you graduate from business school, you're out in the business world. And even if you're working at a firm like McKinsey or the Boston Consulting Group, or an innovative firm like a tech startup or Google, your work is going to be focused on your work. Everyone is in the function that they're in. They're trying to solve the specific problems they're trying to solve. It's no longer a wide open space. So you're never going to have the chance again to connect with many, many people with whom you can form inspiring friendships based on your curiosity and your potential. Those are friendships that are going to last the rest of your life. And they're going to become some of the most important people in your entire life and in your entire career. They're going to create opportunities for you. They're going to hire you into their companies and vice versa. You're going to collaborate with them. You're going to go to their weddings. You're going to go to their baby christening. These are going to become your friends for life. And you're going to form a friendship in a really unique and inspiring way that can kind of only happen when you're, again, in this rarefied educational environment. These last two are connected, and they're really, really the most special aspect of the MBA program that alumni will allude to by talking about the network. But what they really mean is they formed friendships that are going to inspire and propel them into the future that they are destined for. It's the people that are going to become your cheerleaders and your champions, and the people you go to when you need help, when you need to solve a problem, when you have a resource that's lacking. So if an MBA is in your future, I think this may be the part that you're hopefully most looking forward to and that you're going to be most positioned to take advantage of. You want to make sure that you get to your MBA program ready to contribute with abandon and ready to learn from everyone else with abandon so that you can capture these 4 most important hidden benefits. It's learning the language of business, building your inner confidence in yourself, expanding your mind and your ability to think big, and forming lifelong inspiring friendships that are going to carry you all the way until retirement and beyond. It sounds pretty good, doesn't it? I think it's these hidden benefits that make the MBA a stalwart in the education space, despite all the challenges MBA programs and the whole education world have continued to face for the last several years, because there's just no other way, really, for most people post-undergrad to get these specific benefits as quickly and as efficiently as through an MBA program. So if you are interested in these benefits and you've decided that an MBA is in your future, I really hope that you're going to come hang out with me on this channel so that I can play a role in helping you get to your MBA program, not just successfully getting into the school that you want to get into, but actually being ready to seize the benefits that the MBA represents. That's a whole separate challenge. Scroll down and leave me a comment if you would, and let me know which of these benefits is most exciting to you. And if you have an MBA or you've been researching business school for a while and there are other hidden benefits that you've learned about that I left out, please leave a comment down below so that our entire audience can benefit from your wisdom as well. And while you're down there, hit that subscribe button so that you are the first to know when MBA Monday is live again, probably next Monday. I'll see you then. Good vibes. Good vibes, right?